Welcome to week 12 of what has to be the most interesting semester any of us has ever experienced. Uh, Hello, everyone. I miss you. I'm worrying about you. You are all, whether you want to be or not, you're in our nightly prayers. I'm coming to you live from my new office. Let me see here. It's my son's bedroom. You can see his Star Wars art up on the wall there. This is my new mobile office. You can tell that don't touch your face. You can tell that I'm not exactly dressed for work, but I don't think anybody is anymore. So I wanted to walk you through just a little bit about week 12 in person. If you have any specific questions, you of course know you can contact me. This week we shift into the the collaborative multimodal project, or CMP. Okay, so this agenda and the assignment are meant to represent a typical spring semester, which is this assignment, it's collaborative in nature. To me, that means that you are only responsible for a portion of the final product that you're producing, and that tends to lessen the load a little bit. My assignments are generally built with like senioritis in mind, and so remarkably similar to senioritis is what we're all sort of living through. If you think about it, the lack of desire to do anything, not wanting to or being allowed to leave your house, those sorts of things. So I'm hoping that our transition to this final project, not only because we're an online class already, but because the assignment itself it's designed to make, you can do a lot of your own work independently and you don't really need to be in the same room as your team, that those things are going to ultimately help our cause, I think. So the assignment itself, I'm recording week 12 right now. I watched the intro to CMP from last spring, and I feel like it hits enough of the beats. If I get a chance to record another one, or if you want me to record a revised one, let me know. But it's a lot more in depth about sort of the ideas that inform what collaboration means, and definitely what multimodality means. So I assume you can watch that one and get the big picture of this assignment. If that's not the case, if you want to have me record a specific screencast, as you might imagine, I'm busy in some pretty specific and interesting ways. I'm now also a first grade teacher and a third grade teacher, more or less, in my own home. So I can make the time for it, of course. But I feel like the screencast here will give you the tools you need to succeed. Okay, the assignment for the collaborative multimodal project, again, I'm not trying to tweak it too much so that the old screencast and the current document line up in ways that make sense for all of us. So I didn't change much of this except for right here, groups of 3+ students. Let me go big screen here. If you know me, you know that I've been sort of initially resistant to having teams that are very big. I'm going to throw that concern way out that window. Right over there. You are dealing with an unprecedented situation, not only in terms of your home lives, your technology access, your other educational obligations, your other personal and professional obligations. I hope you know this about me, or you could guess it, but I'm sympathetic to your situation, no matter what your situation is. I'm sympathetic to it. So you guys want to make some big old honking teams and work on a CMP with the same assignment guidelines, you're going to be okay by me. There are a lot of college Comp 2 professors who let their teams become monstrosities of size, let's say, and I'm just going to be one of them just for this semester. That's why I don't want to tweak my assignment too much, but there's some value to it, I think, in being a little more, in reconceiving, let's say, of what constitutes a team. So you want to, get on a text chain or DM, a group DM or whatever, and figure out, how many of you want to form a team with. I'm all ears. Okay. So again, I guess not again because I haven't said it yet, but this is an argumentative essay. That's something I'm going to be saying again and again, is that all the things I'm trying to teach you about not only applying primary research, but using that primary research to an argumentative goal. This is the assignment where you bring all those ideas home. This is the assignment that hopefully showcases for your not your readers anymore, but your viewers. Think about that. Your viewers have to come to expect of you in terms of presenting an argument that can be debated, that can be counter-argued, considered from multiple perspectives. Okay. you have the option of taking what you've already done in terms of primary research and, oh my goodness, huge hands, taking your primary research from each group member and seeing if you can sort of, the CMP is like a string, and let's see how many of your primary research sort of beads or bulbs we can hang on that one string. If we can find that one through line that connects all your, the survey you did for your research essay, the observational data you had from back when people went to malls, all that stuff can intertwine. If you can make it all work in some way, that's a really direct line towards succeeding with this assignment. There's plenty of examples. You don't have to watch them just yet, but there's a lot of really good examples of video essays. In the past, lots of groups did things like parody newscasts or morning news shows with anchors and remote people. You can still record yourselves and patch together a video that matches those criteria, but you're going to have to obviously do that in a way that is socially distancing and medically and ethically, socially responsible. But I'm curious to see. You're a very creative bunch. I'm curious and anxious to see the ways you problem solve with this assignment. All right, my laptop is getting low. I'm going to pause and charge it. Hold on one second. Okay, did you miss me? My laptop is now charging, I'm happy to say. We have lots of different argumentative goals in mind, but you're a pretty good group in terms of reading and interpreting assignments, so I'm not going to get into that very much here. There are lots of ways to succeed. I would say video essay is by far the most popular. I'm going to be a little more forgiving when it comes to online presentations. I don't think Prezi or Powtoon are very acceptable forms of what a CMP can do. But again, that's a normal expectation. We are living in abnormal times. So as long as your group is in contact with me, that's what's going to matter most. So read this assignment, watch the, let's see here, watch the screencast about it, and let me know if you have any questions. Okay, so you need to sign up. Speaking of queso, I'm making tacos tonight. Okay, so you're going to need to get on a team that is in the spreadsheet sooner rather than later. You have the deadlines here by next Thursday. So, well, it's next Thursday when I'm recording this. So you'll sign up for a team. You'll determine a team name. I usually say, I think I'm just gonna, let's see, 3 to 7 people. I'll say 3 to question mark people, just to be open-minded. All right. I do want to know if your team is going to be abnormally large, abnormally small. So that means fewer than 3. So if you and someone else want to work on it, that's a very common option. If you want to go bigger than 5, just let me know. I want to look at those 7 names or 8 names, whatever, and just make sure that I feel like that group of people will have the type of alchemy that will produce a productive essay. All right. Well, I guess I didn't edit this as close as I thought. So if your name isn't on a team, you know the song and dance from last semester if you had me last semester. If you're not on a team by the deadline of 9 a.m. Thursday the 9th, I will be assigning you to a team, and that will be non-negotiable. If you are on a team that you don't want people added to it, put X's underneath all the other slots under your team name so I know not to add your team. If you're open to having new teammates, that is terrific and awesome, and I hope that lots of people will be. You just need to leave those areas blank. All right, now I feel like I need to check all these dates here. Oh, let me pause again. See me on my phone. Okay, that date is correct. I just want to double check it. Again, these conditions aren't ideal, but we're dealing with them. So by Monday the 13th, let me see, yes, that's true. You will send me an email that just keeps me in touch with what you're thinking about your topic at the time. So I'm going to add some, let's see. Okay, so send an email. How about I pause again? Okay, just to ensure that things are flowing smoothly in individual groups, I usually don't do this, but I did just add this provision here that I want to be included in all team communications. In your groups, I want to be a part of all of them just so I can, here's a terrible metaphor, so I can smother any problems in the crib. That is to say that if your group is setting off, usually I'm more of a choose your own adventure, learn from your mistakes type of instructor, but I want to get us to the finish line this spring, and the best way for me to do that is to just be a bit more of a micromanager more so than I'm used to. So just pity me with that. Forgive me for being intrusive, but I want to know what your group's conversations look like, from Jump Street. So include me in everything. If I need to download Snapchat and you throw me into a group DM, I will. I don't have a Snapchat account, but I would be happy to do so for your team. So even if it's on social media, just for now, we can become entangled in that way. And I promise not to. I don't care about your social media lives. I hope that's obvious by now. I want to be a part of all of your meetings, your team meetings, and your synchronous and your asynchronous communications. I'll repeat that in the coming weeks. All right, so you do need to eventually send me an email, but if we're operating at that ground floor level where you're talking through your issues and I'm a part of those conversations, that will become less incumbent upon you to do. All right, you have a bunch of readings to do. I've updated this list a whole bunch. There's a whole lot of multimodal readings out there these days. There didn't used to be when we first started doing this assignment, but I was lucky enough to go to graduate from a graduate school that cared a great deal about multimodality very early on. So I'm smarter about multimodality than I am on most things. So this is a pretty full list of not only the ideas that ground them, but examples of multimodality. All right, so just make your way through those. I know you got the time. I got the time. I've been rereading all of the stuff that I've assigned, and it is utterly fascinating. All right, I hope you have your textbook, but if you don't, we'll get by. But if you do have your textbook at home, chapters 16 and 18 are going to be very helpful. So from that same list of multimodal readings, you'll be doing reader response 3. That's right, we do 3 reader responses in College Comp 2. I want to give you full credit for those, so just don't do anything that doesn't allow me to do that. Okay, I want to keep this not to the full 15 minutes because I know people don't watch all of them, but I am here. I want to hear from you. Even if you just want to Zoom and just tell me about your day, if you want to talk about the Indians, or even the Browns, that look like they might actually not be terrible next year. I say that every spring. But a book you're reading, a movie that you're watching, if you want recommendations for things to stream, if you want to give me a recommendation, I want to hear from you all. Even though we're an online class, even though you're, in high schools and I'm, a college professor, I feel a great deal of affinity for you. And I really like that I'm hearing from so many of you. That sort of connectivity, it means a great deal to me personally because I'm a very student-centered instructor who likes meeting new people and learning about their lives and taking what I learn about them to help me appreciate all the different ways people live and have to live. So, I don't want to belabor this point much longer because, the last thing you need is a sappy English professor sapping at you. So anyway, I hope you're being well. I hope you're staying safe. If there's anything large or small, chances are I've run by your house I'm really piling on the miles lately running. Chances are I've run by your house if you're in the Massillon, Jackson Township area. I've probably run by your house a couple of times since all this has started. So we're all in the same community. If there's ever anything I can do for you or for your family, I hope you'll let me know, and I hope you're being safe, and I'm hopeful that we're going to get through all this, just like every optimistic person is. So let's make sure that we're all doing our part to help that optimism be founded in reality. Okay, I really hope you're being well. Good luck with the other classes, and again, if I can be of any service to you whatsoever, I hope you'll reach out. Take care.